we're going to talk about stress. You have to manage your stress if you are dealing with a chronic illness or Hashimoto's. Stress and stressors are part of the reason why you may be in the situation you're in right now, okay? And I'm not just talking about stress like, oh, you have so much going on in your life and you're like, you're freaking out and all that stuff like that. Yes, that is part of it, but environmental stress as well. So let's talk about this in two pieces. Environmental stress and toxins as one piece of it, and inner stress and turmoil as another piece of it. So let's discuss the inner stress first. I think it's much easier for women to be stressed. Well, maybe not, but okay, maybe not easier for them to be stressed, but it's easier for us to hide it and to like do all the things and not slow down. Okay, I think is what I'm trying to say. Especially moms. This was something that took me a really long time to work on, and even a long time to realize that it was affecting me. So I'm the type of person that I wouldn't say with everything, but with some things, I'm very type A personality. You know, I'm a firstborn child, so I'm definitely like that to a T. I wouldn't say I'm a people pleaser, but I like to do things well, and I take pride in the things that I do, and I like things to be a certain way. And I think as I became a mom, I've let go of a lot of that. But that was definitely a big part of my personality, is like, I want to do things right. I want to do things perfect. When I worked an office job, you know, I would be there till like 7 o'clock at night because I have to finish this thing. Like it has to be done. So I don't have to worry about it tomorrow. You know, like I didn't have it in my head, like I can wait. I can just stop what I'm doing. You know, I took in a lot of things and internalized a lot of things that I didn't need to worry about, and stressed about things that I didn't need to worry about, things that were outside of my control, things that I couldn't do. And you know, it caused me to like always feel like overwhelmed and feel like I had to figure this out today, and you know, just that kind of thing, that urgency. Like I always had that urgency to like get things done and be accomplished, and you know, I have to like, I guess I saw a lot of my worth in like the things I did rather than just me as a person. I found a lot of my worth in the things that I did, and accomplishments and achievements and getting things done and being a good worker and being being able to pick up things fast, you know, and all that kind of stuff. Like all of that was like where my identity lied. And this is something else that I also realized recently. But obviously, again, I'll talk about that in another video. But yeah, so like a lot of my self-worth lied in what I could do for others, and like how I could produce and how much I could produce, and you know, just go. And I didn't realize I was stressed until, you know, I started seeing my functional medicine doctor, and like my cortisol was like crazy, and she's like, yeah, you're super stressed out. And I was like, what? I don't feel stressed. I'm fine. I'm not stressed. Like, this is just who I am, like just normally as a person. And I think a lot of women, we struggle with that because, you know, whether you're working or not, you're still kind of trying to please everyone, try to make everyone happy. You have kids, you know, you're trying to take care of everyone. Like, we're always the ones that are just trying to get it all together and just make it look effortless. And it's not easy. A lot goes into it. And I think we put too much pressure on ourselves, honestly, realistically, to kind of portray an outward image when inside we're like dying, and we're like, we need help, and we're like, you know, hanging off a string, and we are just surviving, right? We're not thriving, we're just surviving. We're just hanging on and like, internally screaming, but on the outside, everything's good, I don't need help, I'm good, you know? And that's how I was. And it took me a really long time to realize that it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to slow down. It's okay to say no if you don't want to do something or make plans with someone. It's okay to put your needs, you know, above maybe maybe not your kids and things like that, because obviously your kids can't do things for themselves if they're really little, but you know, so not saying being selfish per se, but it's okay to take time for yourself rather than always doing for others. We need that too. So that self-care piece, that slowing down piece was a big one for me, because when I had only 2 kids, I was doing so many things, and I probably should have slowed down then, but I didn't. And I think that this was a part of, me not feeling my greatest, because I was doing so many things. I was, working out, and, I was working full time. I was teaching Pilates at 2 different places. I was, I'm always meal prepping, I was doing everything. And people were always saying, like, how do you do it all? And like, I took pride in like that, that I was able to do so many things. But it wasn't, I'm not saying it was a bad time in my life, but I was doing too much. I don't know how else to say it. And then I didn't realize that I was doing too much until I had my and I was going to nutrition school. It wasn't full time. It was like maybe, 20 hours of work a week. I mean, that's still a lot. And I was doing that too. So like, I don't know how I was doing all these things. Having a family, having a husband, having kids, and, making sure they were all taken care of. And then somewhat taking care of myself, I guess. And then, I had my 3rd child, and I was like, what the heck? I don't know who I am anymore, because I could not keep up with the demands of all the things that I was doing. I couldn't. I completely stopped teaching fitness, because that was like, well, this was also during COVID, so that kind of like helped with that. But yeah, I couldn't do that. I had clients right when I graduated. I stopped seeing clients because I stopped working on anything with my business, because I just had my baby, and I was like, I cannot do all of this. And I took a really long maternity leave, like 6 months. I just kept pushing it and pushing it. And this is also the time in my life where I realized, wow, like I've missed out on so much time with my kids, so much time that I cannot get back. And doing all these things, stressing myself out, trying to do everything for everyone. And I don't think I want this life anymore. Like, that was kind of when things clicked for me, and I realized I didn't want that fast-paced life anymore, that it wasn't sustainable and it wasn't doing me any favors. So if this is you and you have an autoimmune disease, start thinking about ways that you can slow down, because resting and prioritizing rest and prioritizing self-care and taking time for you is going to be so key to feeling better, because you need that and you owe yourself that, because without that decompression and that release of some of that stress, you're never going to feel better. You're always going to be swinging from here to here to here, because your body is just not chill. Like, your brain is like just on overdrive, and you need to just slow down. And this was probably the hardest thing for me. But I finally am in a place where I feel comfortable with rest. I feel comfortable with having slow days. Yes, I work out at least 4 times a week, but I'm okay with having a slow weekend and not moving my body as much. It used to stress me out before if I look at my watch and I'm like, I have like 3,000 steps, that I'd be like, oh my gosh. But like, that's not the most important thing. You don't need to be on and active every day. It's okay to rest. So do me a favor, if this is you, slow down, ask for help, have a date night with your husband, be okay with, someone watching your kids for a little bit, have someone make a meal for you, go out to eat or something, take a hot bath with Epsom salts, listen to some soothing music. You need quiet time, and you need relaxed and rest. You need to shut things down and find that inner calm. Deep breathing exercises work. You can do 4-7-8 breathing, like in a moment of stress, or just, you need some relaxation. You breathe in for 4 seconds, you hold it for 8, and you release, what did I say, 4, 7, 8? Yeah, 4, 7, 8. You exhale for 8 breaths. So, these are just little ways that you can do that. You can go for a short walk. Movement is a great way, a great thing to layer in to kind of de-stress and decompress. For me, I learned while I was going through my beginning of my Hashimoto's journey that strength training was best for me, because I was doing HIIT workouts and they were really stressful on my joints and really stressful on my body. And workouts are any type of workout is a stressor for your body, but it's I'm probably saying the wrong, catabolic stress, where it breaks your tissues and things down, but then it builds it back up, right? You're able to gain muscle and all those things. But so it's a good stressor on your body. Hormetic stressor, I think that's what it's called. Yeah, so it's a good stress on your body because it builds you back up, you know, and makes you more resilient. But if you have an autoimmune disorder, we don't want to be doing too much of that. We don't want to be doing HIIT where we're doing like slamming on our joints, doing these super hard workouts, burning tons of calories, because that shouldn't be your goal. What should be your goal is longevity, support, muscle support, you know, just supporting your body and overall good health and being strong and strengthen your muscles. So my advice for you would just be to start strength training, even if it's with light weights and you work your way up. You know, obviously you're just a beginner, you're not going to be doing 30-pound weights and all that kind of stuff, but start slow, just like we talked about everything else, and then build yourself up. Going for walks is great. Zone 2 cardio, which, you know, walking is considered zone 2 cardio if you're going for like a brisk walk. That's a great way, you know, to boost your heart health. And it also does burn fat. So don't think that just because you're not running a marathon or doing an intense HIIT workout where you're doing burpees and all these things, like don't think just because you're not doing that you're not getting anything out of your workout, because you don't have to kill yourself in order to have a good workout. So let's talk about the other side of this, which is environmental stresses. So toxins, things that you put on your body, beauty care products and things like that. So this is often probably one of like the last places or like the middle of the road where people go when they're on a healing journey. This is probably one of the last things that people will let go of, because it's not easy. Another thing too, it's not easy to just swap everything. It's expensive. You're not just gonna go throw away your whole cosmetics cabinet and start fresh. You can, but like, who wants to do that? You know, if you have something that you love, you don't want to get rid of it, that you've been using for years. But just start to be aware of it. Start to be aware of it. Start looking at the products that you're using on your skin, on your hair, on your body, you know, what you're brushing your teeth with, you know, that kind of thing. You're going to start wanting to look at that, because there are certain things that if you have an autoimmune disease, using things with certain chemicals and ingredients is going to further harm you down the line. Or it can be endocrine disrupting. So endocrine disrupting chemicals are those that affect your hormones. And when you have Hashimoto's, there's a lot involved with your hormones. You know, your thyroid hormone is affected. So it's very important that you're using products that are supportive of your hormones and not going to work against your hormones or add certain things like estrogens and things like that to your body. You know, I think the first thing that I would, if we're starting with all of this and like, you know, we're looking at products and things and ways that you can eliminate toxins, I think the first place I would start is stop storing your food in plastic containers and stop reheating plastic. So plastics are known to have like xenoestrogens, which can also be an endocrine disrupting chemical. So when we're heating up food, like fast food takeout or whatever, in a Rubbermaid plastic container, those chemicals are binding to the food and releasing from the plastic and going into your food. So you want to make sure that you're not doing that. That would probably be the first place that I would start with, you know, when it comes to this. And then, you know, you can start looking at your frying pans. You don't want to be using things with Teflon and because these are known to, or PFAS, P-F-A-S, these are known to be forever chemicals that also leach from the cooking vessel into your food. So that would probably be the first place I would start, because I think that maybe has the most impact. And then start looking at things like your cosmetics, your products, your toothpaste, your things, and seeing like, okay, this has like dyes in it, maybe I shouldn't buy it. Or this has, I'm just trying to think of things. I don't use toothpaste with fluoride. I learned in Isabella Wentz's book that fluoride can bind to thyroid molecules, or it can bind to like things in your body and block, you know, nutrients, you know, from going to your thyroid. And like, so it can kind of like, it's not endocrine disrupting, but it can affect things in there. It can block certain things because things bind to it, rather than, you know, you getting the nutrients and things that you need from the things that you're eating. So I don't use toothpaste with fluoride anymore. I filter my water so that it doesn't have contaminants in it or fluorides and things, because a lot of our fluoride, or a lot of our waters in most of our states are fluoridated. I'm gonna put something here on the screen for you to kind of understand that better, because I don't have any research or anything in front of me, so I'm obviously just talking off of my head, and I'm probably not presenting this properly. But that's another thing that you should look out for in personal care products. Fragrance. So fragrance is a huge one, because companies do not have to disclose what is in their product. So if you're using a perfume or a hairspray or lotion, right, on your skin that has fragrance in it, that fragrance alone can have thousands of chemicals to create that fragrance. And we don't know if these are endocrine disrupting. We don't know if these are toxic for our body. We don't know. We think, oh, this was tested, so it's fine. We don't know. There's no regulations on this type of stuff. You may believe that just because you can buy it off the shelves that it's safe, but that's not always true. The FDA does not always evaluate all of this. Like, look at how many products there is in this world and, in this country. There isn't time to do proper testing, proper evaluations on all these things to know how it's going to interact with your body and someone else's body. Like, there's no way to know that, and we don't necessarily know what's in these chemicals. So why risk it? I think fragrance is probably one of the ones, from the research that I've done and things that I've listened to and heard, is probably the best thing to cut out, because we don't know what's constituting that fragrance. We have no idea. It could be anything, and it could be something that's really harmful to you, especially if you have an autoimmune disease. So try to start to cut out products that have fragrance. I will be 100% transparent with you and say that not every beauty product I use is clean. It's still something that I'm working on, and I'm trying to get to a place where it is, but there's a lot of things that don't work as well if they're clean. Like, for example, yes, I use all clean, non-toxic cleaning supplies. Like, I make my own laundry detergent, I make my own disinfecting spray, I make my own multi-purpose cleaner, like those window spray, one, because it's cost effective, and two, because obviously I know what I'm putting in it. It's just like vinegar, baking soda, essential oils, water. I'm not using harsh things to clean. So that I will say that I've completely made the switch over. But when it comes to like my hair products, I have curly hair, so my hair is important to me, and I want it to look nice, and I want it to look shiny and defined. I haven't found a clean enough hair product line that I go by, so that's something that I'm still working on. But I do say that it's a work in progress. Like, you have to kind of pick and choose. I saw my hair only once a week, so if I was using certain things every single day, maybe I would make more of an effort to find something that is cleaner. But because I do so many other things, I'm like, I think I'll be okay in this area. I do so many other things, and I'm on top of so many other things. So that to tell you that I'm not perfect either. I still use regular nail polish. I don't paint my nails nearly as much as I used to, but when I do, I'm not using non-toxic polishes and things like that. So there's still room for improvement even for me. So don't feel like I said again, you have to throw everything away and start over. It's a process. You learn about things and you pick and choose. These are things I use occasionally, so I don't make as much of a stress about it, because I'm not using it every single day. But with my toothpaste, yes, I'm being conscious. With my face wash and things like that, I'm being conscious. With my, I only use oils on my face. I use this brand, Earthly, for a lot of my skin products. So I'll use them for like lotions and chapstick, and I'm trying to think what else a face oil that I have that I use at night. I use from that line. So when it comes to things that I'm putting on my skin and that I'm using constantly every day, I'm really more conscious about what I'm using, because my skin's absorbing it. It has the potential to go into my bloodstream, and I want to make sure that it's something that I feel comfortable using. Candles. So this is a big one. Lots of us love Bath and Body Works. We love our scented candles, our plugins, and that has the fragrance in it. So be really weary of those. I've switched to all beeswax candles and essential oils I use a lot. So, when it comes to things like that you're absorbing through your air, because indoor air can be really toxic, because we're breathing it in and we're not opening windows, and it's just like the air surrounding us all day long. It has no escape. So, there can be a lot of chemicals and toxins within our own air even. So yeah, just be conscious of that. I think fragrances is a great thing to kind of just steer clear from, using free and clear products. Yeah, because you know, these are things that we use every day, and we're inundated by it, you know, because we have candle going here, a plug-in over here, you know, in every room of our house, you know, so these are things that we're constantly breathing in. And, you know, if you have a toxic burden already within your body with other things, it's going to be hard for your body to kind of filter all that out. So that's definitely a great place to start, and to kind of start paying attention to if you're newly diagnosed with Hashimoto's and you want to start feeling better. Okay, so that's it. I think we're finally done just wrapping up all of this information. I know it was a little lengthy, and I'm sorry for that. I really hope, like, you know, you just take what you need and you can kind of throw away the rest. Take the parts that you maybe didn't know and just whatever, forget about what you did know. Fast forward through it. I know I talk a lot, but I just hope that you were able to get some value out of this video, and I hope you were able to learn kind of some places where you can start, or start thinking about if you have Hashimoto's or autoimmune disease and you want to start feeling better. You want to start taking your control back into your hands, and, you know, slowly changing things and doing things. Then yeah, these are definitely the areas that I would look into and I would start to work on little by little. Like I said, you know, you work on diet, you got your diet down, now you're gonna work on your stress. You got your stress is down, you've learned to kind of get rid of the things, you know, the stressors that you don't need to think about. You toss those out the window, and now you're able to kind of ask for help and get the support you need. So now you start working on your mindset. You start working on your mindset, and you start looking, you know, for the more positive things in your life. You start remembering, actually, I think that should be one of the first ones. I would probably put that even before stress, but like start looking at, you know, how you can start looking at the reasons why you're blessed, and start looking at the truth in all the good things in your life. Once you've got that down, start looking at toxins, start looking at stress, environmental and inner stressors, and start working on those. So it's not an all or nothing approach. Yes, you can work on more than one thing at a time, but you want to go slow because you don't want to overwhelm yourself and you want this to be sustainable. So all that said, I really hope you got value out of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please share it with someone who you know that you may that it may be helpful for, and comment below and let me know what you think. Let me know if you have a question. Let me know what worked for you. I would love to hear that too. Okay, so until next time, see you again. Bye.